All right. I would like to welcome everybody to the House of Bricks Live. And we are live, and I see people jumping on. Today is a very exciting day for me, not just because it's the 4th of July coming up, and I am going to go out on my boat with my family. I deserve it, and so do they. We've put a lot of strength and effort behind the House of Bricks. You've watched us grow significantly over the last 12 months and even more in the last 3 or 4 months since I started working with David Meltzer, who's joining us today. We're going to talk about our Startup X program that we launched and also the 2-minute drill. But David, I know you advise a lot of entrepreneurs and you've had a ton of success and also failure, just like me. What are some of the benefits of a startup going through an accelerator program?
Well, I not only encourage it, I actually demand it with the people that I work with. In other words, the fastest way to get to where you want to be is to find people that sit in the situation you want to be in and ask them for direction. So simply, there's two things that occur in Accelerator or Launchpad, the different studios that I work with, none better than Startup X, is that you get an aggregate of experience of people who can give you directions to where you want to be, because the most expensive tax in America is the dummy tax. And if you can avoid the dummy tax, you don't have to worry about federal or state taxes or moving to some area of the world like Puerto Rico to save on taxes. You will have saved the most tax that you and I have paid, which is the dummy tax. The second component is when you have an accelerator like Startup X, then you also leverage the relationship capital, which is the most important asset that any company can create. You're leveraging and amplifying a community of people that want to help each other and know people that can help each other. So me working with you working as well in the context of this program, they're getting billions of dollars of relationship. In my case, over $100 million of dummy tax. And so I can't see any reason that I wouldn't go beyond encouraging people, but demanding it. If I'm going to make an investment in a company, that you're part of a program like yours.
Yeah, so you don't need to set up an irrevocable trust to avoid the dummy tax, right? So
You
it
definitely don't.
just be around the right people. And one of the things I tell people is like, listen, you can't skip the struggle zone. Whatever you're building, to the degree of difficulty that it is the degree of the prize on the other end. But there's no way to skip it, but you can definitely optimize it in working with a mentor, being a part of a community. And one of the things I also encourage people is to also find someone else to mentor. And I've learned through mentoring other people, it's actually made me more accountable to myself because I want to follow through on the things I'm coaching and advising other people to do. And so one of the challenges that startup businesses face is they often look at the cost of a Startup X type program or hiring an advisor. It's always like, well, maybe not now, but later. How important is it getting that advisor and getting into an accelerator program? How important is it to do it early on?
You're just never going to do it unless you do it early on. You will not be able to afford it ever. There's two types of people: those people that are looking to buy things when they can afford it or it's on sale, and then they never buy it, or those people that are looking to earn the money to afford what they need to do with who they want to do it with, when they want to do it, for how long they want to do with it. And those people always do it. Look, the people, I tell a story about a guy named Tay Sweat who put $3,000 on his credit card for 2 months of my coaching. And he was a young kid. And I said, look, I only work month to month, and I guarantee each month on its own to be of quantitative value. And he told me, look, I'm putting everything on this card, man. So I'm putting everything on you. I said, no, you're putting everything on you, but here's what I do. What do I know and who do I know? Well, anyway, he ended up making his first $1 million in the first year. And I always think to myself, what if he thought like most people? I can't afford Dave Meltzer, right? I'd rather put drinks on my credit card or other things on my credit card. But he made an investment in himself that paid off. And I see so many people missing opportunities because they're waiting to afford till I can afford it when they'll never be able to afford it unless they invest in themselves. You're not investing in startup X, you're investing in yourself. And if you don't invest in yourself, what are you ever going to invest in?
Well, it's a self-limiting belief, right? People have no problem going and spending a couple $1,000 at the mall, but they don't want to pay a couple $1,000 to grow and scale their business. So it really is a self-limiting belief that we're trying to help people overcome. But you're absolutely right. Like the money's out there. You can get it. It's will you do what it takes to get it? And so it was just really good timing, us connecting, and then deciding to join you on one of the 2-minute drill episodes. Not everyone is familiar with it, but can you just tell us a little bit about how the 2-minute drill started? What's the benefit to these
Yeah.
entrepreneurs that do make it?
Yes, I will. And Nick, as he disrupts my dog, so I'm very illuminating in the internal production. But 2-minute drill is an actual produced show in a studio, so you won't have dogs barking, you won't have people coming to your front door. It's in a studio, and it evolved from me being the executive producer of the #1 digital business show for Entrepreneur Magazine called Elevator Pitch. And we're in season 9 of Elevator Pitch. But I didn't like when I was hosting the show, I didn't like the show because it had a false facade. And the false facade is a false facade of funding. Dragon's Den has it, Shark Tank has it, my own show, Elevator Pitch, has it. Is you can't teach people how to be funded on a TV show.
Right.
And so I had a dream of, hey, what can I teach on a TV show? I could teach people to pitch. And so I created the world's first and only pitch only show. So you win prizes and different types of cash. There's a combination for just pitching. The company doesn't even have to exist, to be honest. You could just pitch and win. But the interesting thing was that Amazon Prime picked it up, Bloomberg picked it up, and then it moved over into multi-platform streaming on Apple TV as the forefront, but also at every airport and hotel room. And so we're in season 6 of 2-minute drill. You get 2 minutes to pitch. You get 2 minutes to show, do you not articulate a quantitative value to exceed what you're asking for? And if you can't pitch, it doesn't matter what kind of company you have. And we know some geniuses, engineers out there that they have companies that are probably worth 10 times as much as they're capable of articulating because they don't know the components of a pitch. So if you want to have an amazing experience, if you want to have amazing business development and the quantitative value of the post-production content beyond the distribution, the post-production content of seeing you with some of the world's biggest entrepreneurs, celebrities, entertainers, billionaires, millionaires, etc. If you see that value, then you should join Startup X. And we're having a competition of all the participants to bring the 6 finalists, 6 best, onto the show and give them international and national exposure, experiential value, business development beyond, and production content distribution that will lead to an acceleration of where you want to be with your business. And there's no better person or people to do it with than the House of Bricks and Adam House.
Well, I appreciate that. And this is not a paid commercial for me or the House
No,
of
I'm a
Bricks.
big
The
fan.
2-minute drill.
I'm a big fan.
I appreciate that. And like I tell people, it's come from failing 90% of my life. I just never quit, and it led to 10% of success. And there's so many gimmicks out there, and you and I both know, being lifelong entrepreneurs, that gimmicks are exactly what they are. They're gimmicks, and the way to really 10x.
Because I got to add to something to this. So just so people know, the other episodes are we are very selective. You can't just say, hey, I'm Adam House and I want to have an episode. Just so you understand too, Stripe is an episode. So they have an innovation with Stripe. Junior achievement, nominated for a Nobel Prize. Junior achievement, 100 million alumni. Junior achievement. We have Rob Deerdeck in The Machine. So Rob Deerdeck, guys like this. We're talking the top of the top for 12 episodes. And so to have you in that league is representative of what we saw in the Startup X program, to have the credibility to play in that playground with the biggest names in business, tech stars. I mean, the list goes on and on. And so to have elevated your brand and the value of House of Bricks and what you're doing with Startup X is a testament to the credibility of your program, because, you know, we don't let people just come on the show because they want to come on the show and have an episode. Sigma is another one. Web Summit. I don't know if you've heard of, you know, Web Summit and Rise and Collision, and they have 70,000 people at Collision. In all of their pitch competitions, they take the top 6 winners and put them on the show. So you may not be as well known yet, but we see the quality and value of your program equal to those that I just mentioned, which is truly a testament to your success, Adam.
Well, thank you. And I couldn't do it without your support, and also the support of the House of Bricks community that we just launched a couple months ago. As you know, it takes a village to be successful. And I appreciate your mentorship, and then all of the people that have joined our community and started with Startup X. So some founders are also thinking, well, what happens if I don't make it on the show, right? What if I don't make it? You know, the odds aren't really in my favor. What benefit do you see for them still going through the accelerator process?
Well, I think that's the benefit that everyone gets. The cherry on top is, are you capable of being in the top 6 to make the TV show? But I would say it's more valuable because if you're coming into the program right now, signing on to Startup X, and you don't make the top 6, well, who do you think you're competing with to get the dollars out there?
Right.
And if you're not up to snuff, wouldn't you like to be around people like Adam and I that will help you get to the next season when you will be the top 6? But most importantly, being on and streaming on Apple and Reach and Roku and everywhere else, and the post-production content will also be valuable, even if you don't get on the show. But more importantly, wouldn't you rather win the investment dollars out there? Wouldn't you rather win the revenue dollars out there, because you know how to build an entire business? You may not have the capability today to pitch it, and you may not make to be a finalist, but you will have the exponential value of being able either to raise money or to gain revenue, which far exceeds. And I'm the executive producer and creator of the show. I'm the host of the show. Let me tell you that if my own kids came into the Startup X program and they didn't make my show, I would demand once again that they participate in the innovation portion so that they can be good enough to come on my show. But more importantly, that they end up having successful businesses regardless of the show.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that's what, you know, the accelerator, like you said, I mean, nothing really anyone says is new. It's just how you package it. So it's the accountability, the discipline, having a goal that you're shooting for. And there's really 3 ways you pay in life. One is time, one is money, and the most expensive, what I try to communicate people and they don't get, is missed opportunity. So like you said, there are some incredible businesses out there, people way smarter than, absolutely smarter than me, smarter than you. I'll let you decide that. But if you can't pitch what you're doing, where you're going, where you are now, and how you're going to get there, and what the return is on the investment of the capital you're trying to raise, then you're going to just miss that opportunity.
Make an investment in yourself. Can you think of a better investment to make? And it's the programs like Startup X that are aligned with investing in yourself so you can gain more revenue and more raise, which are the 2 primary focuses of a startup. The startups that make more money in revenue and raise more money and have higher valuations are statistically, exponentially more successful and go counter to the odds of being successful. In fact, those people that participate in Startup X Accelerator Program or others are far more exponentially successful in raising money and revenue. Can you see any reason you wouldn't want to do it? It doesn't make any sense. Even if you weren't interested in 2-minute drill, you must do something like, if not, the Startup X program.
Well, I appreciate your time, David. Thanks for joining today, all your support of House of Bricks, Startup X, and for putting us at that level. I don't know any other companies in their first 12 months that are now going
We've
to
never
be
had one. We've never had one. You know, they've been mostly, the cornerstone businesses that have approached us and saying, we want to be a part of this. They've either, had huge platforms in pitch competitions, and this is, a carrot on the top of their pitch competitions, or they're huge accelerators, launch pads that have participated, because we do have great distribution and great reach, and as well as that 3 valuable experience, business development, and post-production content that you can't find anywhere else. So whatever you need, all you got to do is ask. We can't wait for season 6 of 2-Minute Drill, and helping out, of course, with the Startup X program with Adam House and the House of Bricks. Build a solid foundation, and you can have a building as tall as you want. And that's what we love about the House of Bricks.
Well, we want to be one of those cornerstones, and we are, right? We're sponsoring an episode. So thanks again for having us on, and I'll talk to you soon, David. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care, everyone.
All right, everybody. If you didn't sign up for Startup X and you don't do it after hearing that, don't really know what to tell you, other than you'll probably be in the same place you are today, 2 months, 3 months from now. But want to appreciate. Now you can tell we're live. I even made a mistake there. So I really appreciate everyone joining today. And again, if you haven't signed up for our Startup X program, go to houseofbricks.io and you will find the link and registration there. We are closing registration soon. We've added a couple extra days just because of the 4th of July. But we'll be kicking it off next week. If you aren't in a startup and you want to join our community, you can also find that information on houseofbricks.io. Hop into our community. We've got some investment bankers, M&A attorneys, top CEOs. And it's just stacked with great people. Again, it's the House of Bricks community. It's not about Adam House. So I'd love to see you join our House of Bricks community and continue to build our businesses and life brick by brick. So have a great day, everybody. Have a great 4th, and we will see you soon.